Hello folks and welcome. Today we've got something rather interesting because behind me is a Tesla Model 3. Now, I've not experienced many Teslas. I drove a Model S a couple of years ago and that was for a quick blast. I know they're very quick and I know they are very, very cool in a non-driver focused way. What I mean by like that is it's got the ludicrous mode, it's got those features where it pretends to be Bond submarine and all that basically gimmicky stuff, which I appreciate. But the Model 3 has sparked a bit of attention to me for the first time, because when I first saw the pictures of this and saw the performance stats, I actually thought that this car would actually be somewhat of a Giulia Quadrifoglio M3 rival. I know there's been videos of it already and I know I'm late to the party, but in the real world, how does this car sum up? Well, that's what I'm going to find out today with this Model 3 performance. I haven't got much time. I've actually got just over 24 hours. This one is a Tesla press vehicle. We're going to see what it's like on the road, on the motorway. We're going to go on a 200-mile trip. We're going to see what it's like charging it. Literally just picked this car up here at Skynet. Feels like Skynet. Feels like a very weird, cynical place full of other Teslas. It's very, very strange for someone like me. But yeah, let's get straight into it, jump in the car and do first impressions of what I think it's like when you climb into this compared to, say, a conventional combustion vehicle. Alright then, so I've just entered into this Model 3 performance, and rather than me basically, you know, going for a drive and then do my piece to cameras, I'm going to do it as I set off from the Tesla press department. So to start the car up or turn it on, just got to put your foot on the brake, select drive, then tells me we're in drive. Where I'm heading at the minute is Bristol, so it's a 2-hour journey and it's 110 miles, so it's just a case of just pulling away. Oh, whoops. Maybe gave it too much poke. I forgot that it's electric and you get the instant shove. Let me turn my bum warmers off. And yes, we just drive out of here in the Tesla Model 3. Always gets me all the time every time I drive an EV, the fact that it's quiet. Okay, driving out of here. Now, obviously, this has a very minimalist design in here, and I need to turn the heater down. You know, how do you turn it down? Because obviously it's all controlled onto one screen. It's actually quite tricky. I mean, for the first sort of 5 minutes in the Model 3, all I can say is that it's very quiet. I can't really hear any squeaks or rattles, but to be fair, I haven't really gone over any certain potholes, so that's more to report later on. Joining on the M4 on a Monday afternoon at 4:30 is, well, a bit mundane, but hey, this is an important real world test of the Model 3 and how it sort of performs, right? Now, to engage autopilot on the Tesla Model 3, all I need to do is hit the drive stalk. So obviously, you know, to select reverse neutral drive, just got to hit it down twice and I get a bong, and oh my word, it's only gone and bloody done it, hasn't it? This is actually very, yeah. Obviously it does tell you to keep your hands on the wheel, but that's me right now, not doing anything. It will tell me in a minute to put my hands back on. For boring driving commutes, I do feel like Teslas can be the most amusing, especially with stuff like autopilot. And you know, let's be honest, driving on the public roads, stuff like M25, M4s, on a weather like today where it's really mundane, really boring, it's just not fun anymore, is it? It's not going for a Sunday blast on a B road. What I'll do is I'll take it out of autopilot mode, and I'm gonna just give it a bit of poke just to see what it's like. Oh my word, wow. I mean, that's just... obviously it's electric, so the torque is instantaneous from 0 RPM, but I mean, that's just hilarious. Yeah, that's quite amusing. That is actually very, very amusing.
Right then, so situation update. I'm halfway through my journey. I've got another hour left. I mean, you know, the first 20 miles into it was very, very boring because obviously it's rush hour traffic, there's 50-mile-an-hour average speed cameras, so it's not really that exciting. We're now doing the national speed limit of 70, and it's gotten a bit dark and the rain has come down quite a bit. In fact, the road surface is pretty awful. You've got standstill water, but this car is just so confidence inspiring. I am doing 70 miles an hour because obviously of the weight of the car, 1800 kilos, that combined with these lovely Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tyres, which is a good all-round performance tyre and a very good tyre in terms of wet weather grip. It's great. It's absolutely brilliant. There were a couple of times where the autopilot feature decided to not function because it came up the fact that multiple cameras aren't functioning correctly. But then, you know, give it a little bit of time, and then once the rain clears, it's actually all right, to be fair. Saying at the minute, I've got 202 miles left, which is about right, and I've got 65 miles to go. The only thing that you do get is a little bit of wind whistle from sort of the windscreen region, but that's because obviously you haven't got a combustion engine to sort of, you know, help with the noise, so you're going to hear the rain, which is obviously making a racket right now. But yeah, it's all good so far, so good.
Right then, I have arrived at the supercharging services here with the Model 3 Performance. It says here I've got 84 miles left, which is 30%. It did say on the trip that I had 37% left, but I'll be honest with you, that was just me booting it all the time and going from 50 to 70 really, really quickly. It is a good laugh indeed. But so far, 120 miles in. What do I think of the Model 3 Performance? Do you know what? I actually thought for an electric car that you would hear some of that, you know, squeaks and rattles, a few imperfections, but obviously I need to check that out later on in the day because I want to do a quality test on the Model 3 just to see what the build quality is like, because I know on these they aren't that great. But so far, no squeaks, no rattles at all. Car is very, very nice indeed, and the journey was just super, super easy, super, super fine. So I'm going to put it on the supercharger right now. Here we are, charging done. It's been about an hour and it's given me, let's have a look inside, it's given me 278 miles. And these charging facilities, they're just getting quicker and quicker. There's one coming later on in the year that Elon Musk is doing, or shall I say Tesla is doing, and apparently it's going to charge the car from rest to 80% in 5 minutes. That's like the equivalent of filling up your car with 90 litres of fuel, having a pasty, going for a toilet break. 5 minutes. That will boost it up to 80% in 30 minutes. My overnight stop is around 45 miles away, which has a charging station that isn't a Tesla provided version. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the part of electric car life that I really don't like. Right, so I've come to another overstop with the Tesla Model 3 Performance. However, there is a little bit of faffing about, and where I'm meant to be staying, which is at the Travelodge, which is a couple of miles down the road, it's now cold, it's now below freezing, and I've now had to fiddle about with charging leads, plugging it in, which is a 7 kilowatt hour battery, which means that it probably won't be full by the morning. This isn't the joys of motoring. This is the bit that I don't like at all. This is the negatives, and obviously I have to share the negatives because I review cars. So, you know, I have to tell you this. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it at all. I've been fiddling about, having to go from pillar to post. I mean, yeah, if there's a supercharging station, absolutely fine, no problems at all. First time at the Tesla supercharger, plugged it in, left it on for about an hour, boom, straight in, off I went. Good morning, everyone. So the Tesla Model 3 has been on charge for about 7 hours on a 7 kilowatt hour battery, and the range from last was about 200 and so miles. And when I come in to charge it, this is the range I've been getting. For some reason, it has dropped to 187 miles. Now, I don't know if I've done something wrong, but I'm pretty sure, and I'm very certain, that when I plugged it in last night, this is one of the free ones as well too, that it did say that it was working, and it was charging away. In fact, it went up by 1 as soon as I plugged it in, and it was charging. It was given a charging time on the screen and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, luckily I've got enough range. Can I blame the car? I can blame EVs in general, really. I suppose that charging port was just not working, which is really bloody annoying, but hey, onwards and upwards onto my journey. I had a blast on some B roads to see what the Model 3 is like in the twisty stuff, and it's safe to say it's a bit of a weapon. There's tons of grip, and because the centre of gravity is so low in the car, that porky 1800 kilo curb weight is nicely balanced. Coming out of the really tight corners and gassing it out on the throttle holds this car into a new dimension. Modern day supercars would really struggle to keep up with this in real world conditions. The steering is accurate, and I tend to keep it in the normal setting out of the 3 setups for better weight and consistent feedback. The all-wheel drive system, unless you put it into track mode, only distributes power across 50-50, so you don't really get any of that rear wiggliness. Even if you turn it into track mode, the ESC tends to cut in a little bit. So out of all the Teslas, yes, this is the most nimble and the friskiest of the lot, but in general, compared to an M3, compared to a Quadrifoglio, well, it's dull. It's really, really dull. It's effective, it's fast, it's very simple, and if you're not a great driver, it does look after you indeed, but it's not heartwarming. Would you spend £60,000 on one of these, or would you go out and buy an M3? Personally, I'd go and buy an M3, just because I'm not really too bothered about running costs on a vehicle. I'd rather just buy a used M3 and a diesel as a daily or something like that, like my VW Touareg, for example. But everybody has a different opinion, and I want to hear it in the comment section down below. Make sure you hit the bell notification icon. Make sure you subscribe as well too if you want to see more stuff like this. Comment down below. Follow me on Instagram as well too, at sid.north, and also on Twitter at TheRealSidNorth. And if you have a tasty car that you'd like me to drive and review, then you know, follow me, DM me. Until next time, folks, see you later.